Dubai Capitals had a fairy tale end to the last season of the DP World ILT20. But the defending champions were off to a rocky start in the first match of this edition. After being stung by the Vipers bowlers early on, their innings never really took off. Waqar Salam Keel's magic gave the Capitals some hope, but it was not enough to avert defeat. Another former champion Gulf Giants made a flying start. After a clinical bowling display against my Emirates, Patum Nissanka's batting blitz saw the side home with plenty to spare. Brace yourselves for a dramatic weekend thriller in this high-voltage clash tonight. Yes, it is another big one. It is match 5 of the DP World ILT20. It is the Dubai Capitals taking on the Gulf Giants. So 5 matches, and let us take a look at the points table now. We know it's early days, but let's just check it out. Desert Vipers there looking nice on top. 2 wins from their 2 games. Everyone has had a start, but everyone wants some points. Hello everyone, welcome into Dubai International Cricket Stadium. We are very excited for this huge matchup tonight. It's a big one. Gulf Giants on a bit of a roll early on. What can our champions, our current champions do? Let's head out to the middle now. Waqar Younis has got the pitch report and Alan Wilkins is the captains for the toss.
Well, my first task is to walk up to the VIP party because they're all nicely assembled in prime formation here with Sanjeev Gupta, who is our toss representative. Simon Taufel will oversee the toss as our match referee. The Gulf Giants captain Moeen Ali and Darshan Shanaka leads the Dubai Capitals. And I believe the coin, which is passed from Sanjeev.
Tails, please.
Tails is the call, Gulf Giants, and it is a tail.
We're going to ball.
Good ball.
Gulf Giants have won the toss. Moeen, what have you told? Did you have a little whisper there?
Yeah, he knows.
He knows, right. What are you going to do? Can you tell us why?
We're going to bowl first, just purely because of the wicket is a bit tricky early on in the first probably 6 to 7 overs. Try and maximise that with the ball. But also there's a bit of dew as well around after later on. It's not as bad, but there is a bit.
I was going to ask you about that. How tricky does it come with a little bit of dew on the ball?
Yeah, it does become tricky. It then takes your spinners a little bit out of the game. Not so much here, but it's not too bad. You still got to play well and bat well and put a score on the board, bowl well and try and restrict them. And you got to bat well still because there is a little bit in the wicket.
Yeah. When it's the early part of a tournament like the DP World ILT20, how difficult is it to get all the pieces in order to get your playing 11, 12?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think especially with playing 2 UAE players and 1 associate player. I mean, they're very good players, but then to balance everything out, and then you have the impact player as well. So it just makes everything a lot difficult. Yeah. We've had a niggle with 40 from the last game. Mark Adair comes in for him. Then when we bat, then hopefully Vinsu comes in.
Thank you for that. I didn't have to ask you about team changes. Thanks, Moeen. That's great. Hey, thanks a lot
problem.
Indeed. Let's have a word with Darshan.
Thanks.
Right, so Darshan, Moeen has won the toss. They're going to bowl. They put you into bat. How do you feel about the Capitals batting first?
Yeah, see, we know the conditions really well because we had a taste on the wicket last time. So, but, we were not up to the mark, but hopefully we'll do well in this game.
Yeah, it's a pitch where about 156, 157 is the average score. Have you got something bigger in mind?
160 plus always handy on these pitches, especially one side closer boundary. So hopefully we'll get to 160 will be ideal.
Have you made any major changes to your team?
Only one change. Scott Curry not participating, so Fish is in for that.
All right, lovely. Darshan, thanks very much indeed.
Thank
Go and
you.
get prepared. I know you won't be batting straight up, but get the pads ready. So that's news here in the middle. The Gulf Giants have won the toss. Moeen Ali said they're going to have a bowl first. So what we want to do now is have a look at how this pitch might actually perform tonight. I think we should have Waqar. There he is, Waqar. Yeah, I thought you were coming in on my right. He's just sneaked up on the left. Look, for me, Waqar, I look at this pitch and I see grass on it. I see live grass. But Waqar, What do you see here, and what's going to happen straight up with the new ball?
New ball is going to do a little bit. I think modern bowlers, when they see the grass, they get excited, but they sometimes forget, the right length on certain pitches. And I think this pitch has got plenty of grass, and the few cracks are also opening because we're playing the second game on this surface. So I feel that up front, 3-4 overs, I think it will be good for the pacers. It will just go through nicely, and I think the spinners, the wrist spinners, I think they'll be a bit more effective.
I've got to ask you, because here we are, we're on about a length. This is about a length here, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
But you were a Yorker specialist. When we're talking Yorkers, Waqar, you're talking about the ball landing here, so you take the pitch out of it. Why don't more bowlers use Yorkers?
Look, I think the T20 cricket is a short game, and they're always worried of getting hit, and they've got so many slower ones nowadays. So I feel, I think it's the best delivery. Still a very, very good delivery, and especially when you have those blue lines, I think you've got to stick to those. Just create those angles, especially right-arm fast bowlers. I'm a little worried that why don't the ball round the wicket and create that angle. So I still feel that Yorkers are good, but this pitch, I feel, if you're a tall fast bowler, if you have a seam up deliveries, will affect first up. But later on, I think it'll be boom.
Lovely. You should put a patent on those Yorkers. Thanks, Waqar. When Waqar Younis says the ball will do a bit, it will do a bit.
Thank you very much, boys. I'm joined by Simon Dool and Andy Flower on the sideline. And Dooley, it is good to be back at Dubai International Stadium. It's looking a picture tonight in an important game. I know we're early days in this competition, but the Golf Giants, just to carry on a bit of momentum they picked up from that last game, right?
Yeah, they were really good in that last game. Obviously demolished the opposition in that last game, and the Capitals a little bit below par, as Dustin said at the toss there. So, early part of the tournament. Look, I know the tournament's not won here, but if you can get yourself on a bit of a roll, you can afford to drop the odd game in the middle to the latter stages of the tournament and still make it through to the playoffs. What you don't want is 2, 3, 4 early losses, and that's what the Capitals are staring at if they don't improve tonight.
Yeah, so with the Capitals, Andy, what do you think their biggest area of concern is? We know it's early days, and people are coming and going, and we know how hard it is to assemble teams these days, but when you do get the team on the ground and they don't get wins straight away, what's the messaging like from the coaching staff, do you think?
Well, you've got to stay as calm as possible as a leadership group. There's no doubt about that. So certainly Hemang Badani is a very experienced coach. He's been around the block as a player and a coach. He will be staying calm, and I think one of their biggest challenges is they've lost two very key players. Shai Hope, who was brilliant at the top of the order for them last year, and also Sam Billings, who captained them so well last year. They've got a new captain in Dasun Shanaka. So his leadership skills are going to be tested here after losing the first game and losing the toss today. They're going to be under some pressure from good swing bowling from the Golf Giants up front. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond without the excellence of Shai Hope at the top and with a new captain.
Shai Hope scoring runs actually over in New Zealand for the West Indies, which is disappointing not to see him here in this tournament. But there are some players to watch out for, and the Golf Giants welcome back James Vince, not as captain, but we will see him with bat in hand, and that's a huge boost for them because he's been so key to their success in the past. Yeah, look, I'm interested in Andy's thoughts on this, but for mine, James Vince is probably one of the premier white ball captains over the last 8 to 10 years. Success at Hampshire, success on the world stage. He's a great thinker of the game, and his game revolves around his batting, but when he's in the field as a captain, or even just someone for to, it's just an amazing thing to have, because his vast experience, his knowledge, his situational awareness, I think, is enormous. So from a batting point of view, it's great that he'll come back in as their super sub, as their impact player, I would imagine, in the batting order after they've bowled. And it just adds a little bit more to the top of the order for me. Plays a short ball really well still at 36, 37 years of age. Yeah, when he's on, it's one of the loveliest things to watch with him batting. But Andy, when you were coaching him, what makes him such a good captain? I mean, obviously some of those points that Dooley, but when you're coaching him, what's the best thing, his best asset as a captain, would you say? Well,
I think he's got two main qualities that make him an outstanding captain. Number one, he's very calm. He's got a nice sense of humor. He's pretty quietly spoken until maybe you get out and go out for dinner with him and he loosens up a little. But that calmness radiates through a team. And to have someone like that standing at mid-off close to the bowler and communicating with the bowler, that's a huge asset. And he's got an amazing record as captain, actually, especially in semi-finals and finals, both as a leader winning the games, but also as a player doing well. And then his other quality is he's very good tactically. I think he understands the game well and makes good tactical decisions. And that is quite important out there in the middle, you know. You have some experience around you to call on, but you're the man making the decisions. He tends to make a lot of good ones.
He certainly does. Another player to watch tonight, Nissanka, we saw him in action. We saw him in action being the operative word, I think. Dooley, how would you describe his innings the other night?
Well, I mean, powerful, and for a man who's quite small in stature, and doesn't look like a big gym goer to me. He's not got massive muscles, not in the Gulbadine phase, but he's just very quick on his feet, and I think he picks up length so well. That's one of the keys I saw the other night. He's pulling deliveries that a lot of players would be maybe just sliding forward to, but he's back and pulling those types of deliveries because he is a little bit shorter, and I think his perception of picking up length was exceptional the other night, and so that was one of the key things for me, and just that power that he's got as well.
When you watched him the other night, and you know you come into a tournament like this and you start off like that, does it help? Does it help players? Do you notice it in the group when they get one away early on? Yeah,
100%. Like, confidence and self-belief is so important at the top of the game. You're playing against a lot of other skillful opponents, and if you really have that self-belief built through lots of hard training, through working on your skills, through working on the understanding of your game, that is proper self-belief, and he's got it, there's no doubt. The way he carried himself the other night, he's definitely got it. He's had an outstanding year in international cricket, and now he's transferring it into this tournament.
And it made it very exciting to watch. Will it be exciting again tonight? You know it will. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're that much closer to the game getting underway. Welcome back to Dubai International Cricket Stadium. We're here for Game 5 of the DP World ILT20. It is the Golf Giants taking on the Dubai Capitals, and the Golf Giants have won the toss and they are going to have a bowl first. Andy and Dooley are still alongside me. Dooley, would you please talk us through the side with bat in hand first?
Yeah, well, they struggled with the bat. They didn't hit a 6 until the 14th over the other night. So struggles at the top for the Capitals for me. Sidikula and Shahan Jahangir at the top. Strike rates weren't really good enough. They lost 3 wickets in the power play, which didn't help. I just wonder whether it might be an opportunity to get Jordan Cox to the top of the order, or at least at number 3. I know Gulbadine had a good time of it last year. They need Powell's power, Shanaka, Willie, Hyder, so they've got enough all-round batting there, but do they have the out-and-out batters? I really only see 1, possibly 2 out-and-out batters outside of the all-rounders. That's their issue for me.
Andy Flower, what do you make of this Golf Giants side?
Well, the Golf Giants, big news coming from their camp is that Vince is going to bat when they get around to batting second. And if you've got Nissanka, Gurbaz and Vince at 1, 2, 3, that is an outstanding top 3. Very attacking and quite a lot of experience too. I think Omazai looks in great form with both bat and ball, and then the Irishman Mark Adair has come in as an all-rounder, and pairing him with Tushar as an opening bowler with that new ball, I think the Dubai Capitals openers are going to have their work cut out.
They certainly are. It's a huge match-up here at Dubai International Cricket Stadium. We've got some awesome troops in our team, actually, and one of them is pretty good when it comes to bowling. And Dooley, I'm talking about you as well. Waqar Yunus, he's got a bowling masterclass with us with Mike Haseman.
Yorkers. Got to talk Yorkers. Who can I find? Anyone out? No, can't find anyone. Yorkers. Waqar, you're the bloke. You're the bloke to talk to.
You always find me,
yeah,
don't you?
I found you. Let's talk Yorkers. Do we see enough Yorkers in the white ball games?
Not enough, I feel, because that's a hard ball to sort of master, and nowadays bowlers are always worried with his new, technique of the batters going deep in the crease and looking to go for 6s. They don't really look to nudge it or look for 4s, so it is not that easy for them, I understand, and that's why they bring all these variations.
We're going to walk and talk at the same time. You perfected it. How long did it take you to actually perfect it so you could get it spot on when you wanted to at will?
Look, at will, I was right at the end of my career. I thought I mastered it, but it took me a long time to exactly understand where my Yorker needs to land. That's the key, because this box nowadays, batters bat in this area.
Yep.
In our time, it was more like coming onto the front foot around this area. So the Yorker length, let me just bring these cones in. So the Yorker length was more or less this. back in our days. But nowadays, the Yorker length becomes a little fuller, just purely because the batters are way deep in the crease.
And some of the guys go very deep in the crease when they're playing. Because I mean, the guys, particularly right at the end of the innings, where they want to get underneath the ball so they can to get underneath and hit it straight down the ground.
Yeah, I think the best way to go is a little bit fuller.
So you got to adjust.
Even a low full toss can really help. But yeah, modern day cricketers, for me, I think the suggestion to them will be just use these lines, these blue lines which they have given to the right hander, to the left hander, stay inside of that, use the angles, go around the wicket. I don't see any right arm fast bowler going around the wicket and bowling this line, this angle, and cutting that area off. Just bring your fielders around this area offside and bowl there. They don't do that. They have different actions. Some of them are high arm action, some of them are slingy. I think the slingy action really helps you to bowl better in that region or in this region. High arm is a little bit tough.
What about the thing to focus on when you're running into bowl the Yorker? What were you looking at when you were running into bowl the Yorker? Were you looking at where you wanted to pitch the ball, or?
With my action, I was probably look around this area, maybe 1/4 of the 1/4 up of the stumps, but nowadays I guess they have to look a little bit higher, and because the ball dips. Remember that the ball dips. With my action, with the sideways ball coming down, it dips. So it was a little bit easier. But I guess for the high arm action bowlers, they have to really be very aware of that.
And they've got to work that out themselves. They've got to work out what suits them. For example, Dennis Lilly used to always, when he wanted to bowl nice and full, he used to look at the top of the off stump when he went into bowl.
Yeah, it goes different for different bowlers. Dennis Lilly was a really high arm bowler.
Yep.
I was a slingy like Malinga myself, and there's so many others nowadays. So I think for the slingers, it's more like a halfway to the stump, so maybe even a little lower to get it around that region. But yeah, I mean, Yorkers are still the best delivery. It's a dot delivery or a wicket-taking delivery.
And when we hear the bowlers are talking about the fact that they don't want to bowl the Yorkers, they might get ramped and that sort of stuff, is that a cop-out or not? Is that a fair enough argument?
I think it's a fair enough argument because, as I said, that the batters are kind of like they look to go for big shots. That's why all these variation comes into play. But I still feel that you practice hard. You got to put a lot of hours into it to master this.
Righto. He knows the deal. You've got to listen to him. He knows exactly what you should do.
That was fantastic. I loved that. Dooley, what did you make? What did you look at when you were running in?
Yeah, I was the same. And I learned that from Sir Richard Hadley, actually, from the base of the stump to the middle of the stump to the top of the stump, depending on your length. What you want to be doing from a bowling point of view is not looking at the batter or anything. You don't want to see anything that's moving from a bowling point of view. You want something that's static so that you can focus on it when it's not moving. And Sir Richard was a big one on top of off stump, middle of off stump, base of off stump. If he was at the base, that would be just a perfect line and length delivery. If you wanted to go a little bit fuller, he might just bring it up. Some days it's slightly different from an action point of view. So that was really good from Waikawa. I thought it's exactly what you need to be looking at from a bowling point of view.
That was absolutely awesome. I love it. All right, boys, well, we are nearly ready to go here. The Golf Giants have won the toss. They are going to have a bowl first, taking on the defending champions, the Dubai Capitals, who desperately need a win. We take a short break, and when we come back, it's all on.